Simula na naman ng isang bagong umaga.
Nanonood pa rin po kayo ng Go Negosyo Talks Meet the Vice Presidentiables Forum. Sa ikalawang bahagi ng ating programa, tapatan na po tayo, isang panelista, isang kandidato. Sasagutin ng mga kandidato ang tanong ng ating panelista sa loob ng 90 segundo pa rin. Bibigyan ng pagkakataong magkomento ang ibang kandidato sa loob ng 30 seconds na pwede rin namang sagutin ng nakasalang na kandidato sa loob pa rin ng 30 segundo. Maaari rin pong magbigay ng follow-up question ang ating panelista na sasagutin na naman ang kandidato sa loob pa rin ng kalahating minuto. At ang una pong magtatanong sa kanyang kandidato, si Ginoong Babe Romualdez.
Well, I just wanted to say that President Aquino seems to have you literally on top of his head. He criticized you even with the way you dye your hair. He says, or he blames you for the delay in the passing of the BBL. Could you please tell us whether this should be a priority in the future or the next administration, and the rest may answer that also.
Well, I enjoy the attention that the President is giving, including my hairdo, but that is something that on the BBL, I have to explain very clearly that it is a local bill, and therefore we are informed that the Senate cannot act upon it until it is finished in the House of Representatives and transmitted to the Senate. It has not been finished in the House of Representatives and therefore not transmitted to the Senate, and therefore we cannot act upon it. And that is why the Senate is still in deliberation on the BBL. I did not, though, support the BBL, the draft BBL as given by the Palace to Congress, simply because it was unconstitutional and would not bring peace. This happened because the negotiations with government were only with the MILF and non-inclusive of all the other sectors that were necessary. They did not consult the MNLF. They did not consult the local government official. They did not consult the LUMADs. They did not consult the Christians. Only the MILF. And that's why I proposed a substitute bill, which had incorporated into it all the comments and observations that were made in the hearings that I instituted to give them, all these other sectors, a chance to make their opinions known. And I believe that the substitute bill that I filed will be one that will be constitutional and will in fact bring peace to Muslim Mindanao.
Salamat, Senator Bongbong. At this point, anybody among the candidates can react?
Ang marami pong circumstances kung bakit hindi po naipasa yung BBL. Ang pangunahin na rito, yung Mama Sapano na incident. However, looking back, tinitignan ko ang kamalian ng negotiating panel sa pagkonsulta sa mga members of Congress. Meron pala doon sa kanila agreement na role ng Congress, pero hindi nila kami nakonsulta. They were expecting that whatever they would agree to, ay aagrihan namin na para kaming rubber stamp. Hindi po ganon. That's not how Congress works. So, kaya ganito po ang nangyari. But let us look at this opportunity as an opportunity to start anew. Pwede nating i-refine at gawin nating inclusive, gawin nating tripartite agreement to include the MNLF para hindi po maisantabi yung final peace agreement of 1996. So, yan po ang ating mga panukala. And aside from that, ang aking tinutulak ay ihiwalay natin ang Autonomous Region for Central Mindanao and Autonomous Region for Basilan, Sulu, Tawi-Tawi because historically and culturally, hindi po magkasama ang mga Muslim Mindanaoans. Meron po silang kanya-kanyang ethnic groups na hindi po pwede nating pagsamahin. Diyan po ang, I believe, basic mistake ng mga framers ng anything regarding about the autonomous regions in Muslim Mindanao.
Senator Cheese, you're next.
We should build on what the administration has started with respect to the BBL. Pabor ako sa isang panukalang batas na mag-aamyenda sa ARMM para mabigyan sila ng mas malawak na kapangyarihan pero dapat sumasang-ayon sa saligang batas. At ito'y dapat gawin matapos konsultahin ang bawat stakeholder, Kristiyano man o Muslim, sa loob man o sa labas ng ARMM area. Ito'y dapat isulong sino man ang magiging Pangulo, sino man ang magiging ikalawang Pangulo ng ating bansa. Dahil tapos na dapat ang panahon ng paggamit ng barel, bala at bomba para resolbahan ang hindi pagkakaunawan ng mga Pilipino. walang katumbas pa rin ang pakikipag-usap at maayos na dialogo. Kaugnay naman ang pagpuna ni Pangulo Aquino sa kulay ng buhok at hairstyle ni Senator Marcos. Sinimulan niya yon ng EDSA at nalungkot ako doon. Ang EDSA para sa akin, hindi tungkol yan sa Aquino o sa Marcos. Ang EDSA dapat tungkol sa sambayanan at sa bansa, sa naging kasaysayan ng ating bansa at ng kasaysayan sa hinaharap. Hindi umiikot ang EDSA o ang kasaysayan ng bansa sa palibot ng dalawang pamilya lamang. Kaya sana, hindi na lang nabanggit yun ng Pangulo nung mga panahong yon. Ikinalungkot ko ang mga pahayag niyang yun.
Congresswoman Leni Robredo, your 1.5 minutes starts now.
Ako po naniniwala ako na kailangang hanapan na natin ng lasting solution yung problema ng peace in Mindanao. Hindi pwedeng bumalik tayo dun sa dati. Yung BBL, produkto yon ng 17 years na pakikipag-usap. Kung merong reklamo na may mga sektor na hindi kinonsulta, dapat konsultahin. Pero hindi tayo pwedeng huminto, hindi tayo pwedeng bumalik sa square one. Marami ng buhay yung binuwis, marami ng efforts yung nilagay dito, napakarami ng tao ang involved. Tayo naman po parati tayong bukas basta mas may magandang panukala. Pero hanggang walang magandang panukala, ipagpatuloy yung usapin papunta sa katahimikan. Sa akin naman po yung EDSA, hindi po yun personal kay Bongbong Marcos o personal kay Pangulong Aquino. Pero yun ay pagbibigay ng hustisya sa maraming naging biktima nung panahon ng martial law. Yun po, pagbibigay po ng pagkakataon na yung sinasabi pong mga nanakaw na salapi sa ating bansa, dapat maibalik. Kasi dapat po yun sa Pilipino. Hindi po yun personal. Nalulungkot din po ako pag naging personal po yung usapin.
Senator Bongbong, you might want to react to that.
I, of course, respect the opinion of the Congresswoman, but I would just like to point out that the PCGG has been in existence for 30 years with precisely that mandate, and that is what they are supposed to have been doing. And so all of these cases are in court, and whatever the court decides, we, as should everybody else, obey the court orders that are given.
Na-mention po kasi kanina yung PCGG sa kanyang mga court cases. Si Senator Jovi Salonga po, nung siya pa yung PCGG chairman, na-estimate niya yung loot na 5 billion to 10 billion US dollars. 170 billion pesos pa lang yung nare-recover natin. Meron pong ilan na kasong pending, meron pong dalawang may judgment na pero hindi pa din nababayaran. Galing po sa court ng Singapore, galing po sa court ng US.
Alright, maraming salamat po, Congresswoman Leni. At ipagpapatuloy pa po natin ang tanungan. Huwag po kayong aalis, magbabalik ang Go Negosyo Talks. Meet the Vice Presidential Forum pagkatapos lang po ng ilang sandali.